Hey guys, this is RD Techie, and in today's video, we're gonna go through the full setting up of stream elements and your overlays and things like that. We're using the new and improved overlay editor. So I'll see you on the other side and we'll get this thing started. So Stream Elements revamped their overlay manager. What that means basically is, in my opinion, it became a lot more user-friendly and user-intuitive. The reason I am doing a video is because the last video I did is on the old one, so that won't exactly apply anymore. The principles are the same, but you might need to click somewhere else to get the same effect. So we're gonna be doing it again from scratch, setting up a BRB screen as well as an in-game overlay. You can use the same principles to go ahead and set everything else. But let's start, and we're at the Stream Elements website. You can use these overlays on Streamlabs, Stream Elements, OBS Studio, wherever you want, as long as you can use a browser source. You'll get the overlay. But as always, I recommend OBS Live, which I think is the least CPU intensive after OBS Studio, the blank OBS. If you want to have some attachments and plugins, I recommend OBS Live because I think that's the least intrusive as far as performance is concerned. So let's just go right in. Again, I'm going to be logging in with Twitch. You have YouTube, Mixer, and Facebook integrations if you'd like to do those. This is the bot account again, and once again, it's empty. It's just for the tutorials and my bot. So this is what we did the other day. We did an alert box, and that's there. If I need to use, I'll be using that add-on anywhere, that browser source anywhere I need it. But we'll be setting up the overlay with the alerts in anyway. So we're gonna click here, and these are the two ones we did before. So I don't want to go into those. We're just going to leave it for now. We're going to click create blank overlay, and it's going to come up with 1080p. That's the resolution I stream at. That's the resolution I think is a good way. Even if you downscale on OBS, I actually stream to Twitch in 720p, but I capture at 1080p. The next thing I'm doing is I'm going to add a widget, and I'm going to go to alert and alert box. I like doing that first thing because that way I can copy it multiple times over, and then I just need to edit the other things like the background and stuff. So for this tutorial, I'm not going to spend time on the alert box. The alert box tutorial will be linked below if you want to check it out. It'll walk you through how to set up your alerts, the sound, and even how to position it and everything. So we're going to leave that default. We're going to leave that there. I'm going to just do a quick emulation just to see if it works. It worked. All right, so there you go. Britain is now following. We're gonna then go back to layers, and I'm gonna do a plus, and I want to do a static or custom. You can do an add an image, add a video. The overlay I'm using is an animated overlay. It's my own overlay. It's a animated one, so it's add a video. So I'm gonna click add a video, and it's gonna pop up this really tiny box. Now, obviously that's not the box you want for your overlay, but it's the start of the thing. So what I'm gonna do is go to position and style, go 1920, 1080, because that's the size we're dealing with. And then we're gonna go back to the settings, click on that and click change video. Now this will give you a couple of options of the videos you have. What I'm gonna do though is I have the overlay set up here, and I'm just gonna click and drag. If I can show you, I guess. I'm trying to bring it into the screen, it's struggling. So I have the overlay set up. I'm just gonna click and drag into, wait, never mind. I gotta click upload first. And then I can click and drag it. It's as simple as that. It uploads and everything. You can use, I believe, multiple formats. The format I always recommend for anything animation is WebM. It's lightweight, it's small, and it performs equally as good as an MOV file as far as you're not editing in Premiere Pro and all that. For Premiere Pro and all that, you do want the MOV file, but when you're using it on a system, when you're using it on a PC or stream or anything else where you want it to load quickly, if you want to use it on a web page, WebM is the way to go. I think that is the best format to use. Now we're gonna click submit because that's the overlay we want, and it's set. There you go. So the overlay is ready. All that is in the video itself. I'm not doing anything on here. Now the next one I need to do are the labels, right? So what I'm gonna do is add, click on that, click on labels, click on subscriber. Let's go latest subscriber, right? Latest subscriber. You can have subscriber gifts. It's up to you depending on what all you want seen. The go-to ones are follower, cheer, subscriber, and tip or donate, dono. So it's up to you and how you set up your overlay. I do make overlays, and I recommend these 4 usually, but some people like having the gifter on there. You can do that. It's up to you and your overlay and your needs. I'm gonna click latest subscriber. It's gonna pop up somewhere. So we're gonna just go to layers. There it is, latest subscriber. Now we're gonna click on that. We're gonna click latest subscriber name. We don't need latest subscriber because we already have subscriber written. You guys can't see it, so I'm just gonna, this is the cool thing about this overlay editor. See that? I love that. I don't know if the other one did that, but I love the fact that I can click these 3 buttons and move it around. Makes it so much easier to just use, and everything. You can fit the screen, reset zoom, you have the snapping on, everything that was all over the place is now in this one location, and to me that is awesome. I love that. Okay, so we have the latest subscriber here. We don't need latest subscriber written, or because we have subscriber written here. So what I'm gonna do is do this and go subscriber event, emulate it. So why I did that is because we get this name to play with now, Florence. All right, so Florence is our latest subscriber, and we need for Florence to be around here, right? And this is where your animation and all that might not be very friendly with snapping, so I just turned snapping off, adjust it, and I'm gonna take away latest subscriber, so it's just Florence. It still looks kind of weird because the font is different, because the colors are different. So I mean, you could probably do what I have with the double slit. I'm not gonna go into that because that is a very lengthy process, in the sense you need to do 2 of each and then align it perfectly, and not my jam. I'm just doing alternate colors, so I'll have blue in the follower, pink or purple in the subscriber, blue in the tip, and again the same pink or purple in the cheer. So what I'm gonna do is go to text settings and change the font to what I know this font is. This font is called Bangers. It looks very Fortnite-y, but I really do like the font, even though I'm not a fan of Fortnite. So click Bangers. Florence looks a lot more in place right now than it did before. So again, we're gonna go here and increase the size because we need to make it a little bit bigger. All right, Florence. Now, if you wanna have it scroll, so that's another thing you need to do, right? You want the text to scroll. I don't do it anymore. My old overlay used to do this. You go text scrolling and you adjust the box. The box basically tells you how much it'll scroll. If you want to do that, go for it. It's all up to your taste and things. Text shadow, I always keep a little bit, just because it'll help it pop out from the background. And you can change all sorts of stuff. You can have the italics on, you can have the underline. I don't know for what reason. You can, I don't know what that does. I honestly have no idea. I think that's to go up and down with the capitalization, but it doesn't matter. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave it there. We're gonna remember these things, and we're gonna change this color. And this is another thing that's yeah, that didn't load. That color wheel didn't load for me for some reason. So we're just gonna get that. Oh, there. Now it's fine. That so we're just gonna keep an eye on. There you go. I think that's a pretty close color. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna come here and we can copy that code and paste it. I'm just gonna copy it and keep it for now, because for our next label we're gonna do cheer and then paste that color code so it'll match perfectly. Okay, so we got that set up, and we have the names and all that. We have the alerts done, and that's pretty much it for an overlay, right? That's all you need there. I mean, you could add other sources. For example, I'm sponsored by Alibi, whose music you're hearing in the background. So I have a Alibi ticker. I can add that here. Anything you add on here, you will get on the OBS screen when you add it as a browser source. So I'm just gonna click save now, and I'm gonna call this tutorial overlay, and I'm gonna click save. Right, so it's gonna save, and we're gonna click this URL, which is there you go, and we're gonna load that. That's the URL you're gonna load up onto OBS Live. So you create a browser source and you load it in. If you want to know more about that, there's a video linked below about OBS Live and setting your stream up over there. So, okay, we're not gonna go into detail there. We're gonna go to the next scene and do the same thing, but with a BRB screen. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go, because I'm smart, right? I don't want to do all this work all over again. So I'm gonna just go click on these three dots, or actually these three dots, and click duplicate. And when I'm duplicating it, I'll click that because it'll ask you what platform it is. Duplication is complete. So now, to copy of tutorial overlay, that's the one we want. That's what we're gonna turn into our BRB screen. So I'm gonna go BRB tutorial overlay once I know how to type. And the only thing that one thing I do need to recommend is always put the alert box on the top, because it'll help you out, because it'll make it clearer. It'll make everything just easier. When the alert pops up, it'll cover the whole screen. I think that's amazing, and that's the way to do it. You can also lock the layers down so you don't accidentally move them around. You can unlock them the same way. You can turn off visibility so that it won't show up on your screen. These are things that's usually there in most editing software as well. So it's great to have them replicate that, so you kind of feel at home if you're someone who did video editing. If not, it's very easy to get your hands on and understand, get your head around. So what I'm doing now is I'm gonna change this to a BRB screen. So that's easy enough said, right? Wow, it's not that hard to do. It's simple because it's a copy and we already have a video here, which is the overlay. So one thing you can do here is type in your custom name so you know what it is. See, instead of saying name, amount, name, I can write in follower, but it won't change anything here. It'll just change the name of the layer, helping you understand what you need to do. Right, so what we're going to do now is change the overlay so that it's the BRB screen. So what I'm going to go is settings. I'm going to go to change video, and since I haven't uploaded the video, this is the old one I used to have, but we're going to use my new one. I'm going to go to upload again and close that because I have the folder up here, and we're going to go BRB. All right. And my BRB screen is getting uploaded. One thing you need to know, even though WebM is small, it's fairly small. Look, that is like 1 MB, right? For a continuously looping video, which is great. The more WebM and everything you add on an overlay or a browser link, the bigger the browser link gets, because it has to load them all up every single time. So sometimes it can be 6 megs, sometimes it can be 8, 10, 15. So the higher that goes, the more demanding OBS will be on your system. So something to keep that in mind. I did mention this during the alert tutorial, but I thought I'll just mention it again. And we have the BRB screen right there. Not a problem, it's all done. Except these things at the bottom don't really make sense. I'm gonna again move this over here. So we have DASI, no data, something. All right, so what we're gonna do is apparently DASI followed my bot account recently. So what we're gonna do is switch on over to a different way to arrange these, and I've already made a animated source which will help me arrange it, because I wanted to use it in several screens, be it BRB, ending, starting, and all that. So what I've done is I made another source, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm gonna go to static again, add a video because it's another video file. It's an WebM file, and I'm gonna move this video down here and change the video. Again, go upload, and I have it kept here. This is called text only. This I did because I wanted to use the follower, sub, and all that on all the scenes, but make it optional so that it's not hard coded into the scene, so it's not there unless I want it to be there. So I'm gonna click submit, and then I'm gonna click that and go to settings. If you don't click loop, it plays once and stops. So if you're talking about overlays, talking about things like that, I always recommend clicking loop, because that is something that you want to come over and again, right? So I'm gonna go over here and put this right above the overlay and lock the overlay, and that lock that in, because I don't want this to be locked in yet, because we're still doing this size. So all my overlays are this size, because then I know exactly how big it has to be, and there you go. So now this is where I want the boxes to be. So if Dassy is the follower, I'm gonna drag Dassy over there, and I can just drag this box all the way there. Now what I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna go to layers and lock down this as well, because I don't want to accidentally move that around. Now this is, I believe, the subscriber one, right? So we're gonna just do quick alerts to fill those in. We're just gonna go emulate. We don't need to press that. Subscriber. We're gonna go tip, and we're gonna go. Well, I guess that's enough. We don't need to do the tip, right? So I think this one is tip. Yeah, that's tip. All right. And this one is cheer. So I'm dragging this box because that's how long the scroll will go. So you kind of want it long enough where even the bigger names will be clear. Now that's done. What I'm gonna do is add a chat box, and we'll be done with the BRB screen and this tutorial. I kind of want to do it so it's not a long tutorial. I want you guys not to get tired of watching and figuring out where does this come, where does this come. I'll try and do the time code thing. I always forget, but I'll try and do that time code thing to help you with that. We're gonna do the next one, engagement. Wait, that's not it. There you go, stream tools. I thought it was an engagement because it was chat. In stream tools, you have your streams chat. So now if I click that, it pops up like that, right? Now that's just a black screen. It doesn't make any sense. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna drag it and pull it out. And what happens is if someone goes and types in my chat, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to Twitch TV/Mechanoid Brighton. And say, hello. We're gonna try this. There you go. All right, you see that? So that's pretty cool, right? You get to see that, and I don't know why our overlay disappeared. That's interesting. We'll look into that. But you might not want a solid one. In that case, you can go to position and style and drag down the opacity. I keep it at around like 75% because I don't want it overpowering the theme, but I also want it to stand out from the background. So I have that. I'm gonna hit save, go to layers, figure out what happened to our overlay here. It's disappeared. It's one of those things, but so we're just gonna hit save, and now that's it. We're just gonna reload it and see how that goes. There it is. It's just a little bit of hitch, you know. It happens because you're doing all this on a browser. You might see stuff like that happen. Don't panic. Make sure you hit save, refresh, and you'll be good to go. What we're gonna do is your streams chat, and I'm gonna click I'm gonna lock everything else down because I only want to move the streams chat because I don't want to accidentally move anything else. And we're gonna just adjust the sizes, right? So it's right in that frame. So for anyone who comes in and looks at your stream, all they see is the stream chat. They don't know if this is a different part, something else. It just looks very much one part and parcel of the same thing. So that is it pretty much for setting up your overlay and your BRB screen. You can use the same concept to set up your starting soon, ending, just chatting, whatever it may be. I always recommend using OBS Live, and I always recommend using Stream Elements because I think this is the most amazing thing ever. If I did the same thing on Streamlabs, I would have many sources, and it would just add on to your resources. Whereas in OBS Live and Stream Elements, you're getting one browser source. Again, you can use the same browser source in Streamlabs. You can use the same browser source in the default OBS Studio. That is up to you and your tastes, but my recommendation is go with Stream Elements. And we'll be doing a video about Stream Elements versus Streamlabs down the road, because Streamlabs does something amazing with its chatbot, but we'll see more about that in that video. Hope you have a fantastic day. This is already Techie saying goodbye. I'll catch you in the next one.